I just don't know how Invasion of Privacy won. Not trying to talk down on Cardi B whatsoever.
Right.
She's doing her thing. More power to her. You know. I just don't see how that won. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Over all those classic, content-rich albums.
But I mean.
Now, one thing I gotta disagree with you on, I do think that, and I know you're not trying to knock Mac, you're not trying to slight him, but I think even if he didn't pass away, it still would have got nominated. Just because of the fact that the content, the production, everything on the album is so clean. Like, there are no skips.
I feel you, 100%. But Max, he's dropped, most of his albums have been solid, like solid, and he doesn't get any recognition. He didn't really, I mean, not as much as he should. He didn't get, this album alone didn't get big until he passed away.
Unfortunately,
like a couple days, weeks later. You know, and then everyone's like, oh my god, Mac Miller. You know, and then everyone jumped on the bandwagon and started claiming to be the biggest fans and, you know, just started listening to his music once that happened and, you know, now they're the biggest Mac fans, you know, which is just not true, you know. So, not that it shouldn't have been up there, because I like the album. I'm not mad it's on there at all. I just think if he didn't pass away, it wouldn't have gone on there just because there, you know, all of his other albums were really good as well and didn't get as much recognition, you know. So, but that's what happens when people pass away in the entertainment industry. Their whatever last thing they are on is like shot up to stardom, you know.
Right.
That's anybody. So I'm not surprised it's on there. Do I think it should be on there? Yeah. Do I think it would have been on there if he was alive? No, I don't.
I agree to disagree. Right. I hear you. I just think that, you know, with hip hop being the most popular genre on the planet right now, I definitely think that content now is on a upkeep. At least in 2018. Since we're talking about 2018 albums, 2018 was just album, like all the albums that came out the year, hip hop wise, was rich in content. You know, every album told a story. It was all just amazing production, a lot of lyricism. So, you know, I think that with the popularity of it, and on top of the fact, you know, it's Mac Miller, he's due for one. I think he would have gotten nominated for it. But I understand where you're coming from. You already know who I'm gonna say should have got album of the year, and he wasn't even nominated. And that's J. Cole. You already know, and that's J. Cole. You know, he should have got nominated for it. Now, I don't know if there's a thing where you have to submit your album to get nominated or something like that. I think that's how it works. Maybe he didn't submit it. I don't know. But me, personally speaking, completely opinionated. No shame in it. You look at content, you look at production, you look at the whole entire thing behind the album. That album's better than every album that came out last year. And then a lot of great albums that came out last year.
You think KOD is the best album to come out last year?
Facts. Big facts. The best album to come out last year. Because it's the entire thing behind it, you know?
There's a lot of albums that came out last year.
There is a lot of albums that came out.
By a lot of people.
There is. But at the same time, like I said, you gotta look at everything behind the album as we go into our break. You gotta look at content. Okay, he talks about all the social issues here in America. He tackles social media, he tackles lust, he tackles the young rappers, he tackles drug addiction, paying taxes.
Content doesn't mean that it's the best album of the year, though.
Right, but I'm not done. Continue. So you look at content, you look at production, you look at the entire theme behind it. It's an attack on drugs, and he released it on 420. You look at the fact that Kill Edward is actually himself, that he featured in a song, and he's being experimental with trying new things. That, to me, gives KOD the album of the year for me.
So because he tried something new, he should win album of the year?
It's all the things I just said, not the fact that he just tried something new. It's everything I just said.
I don't know. I don't think it was the best album of the year.
No?
No. I don't know what the best album of the year was. It was a lot. I'd have to honestly sit and think about it. But that could be in the conversation, but I don't personally think I could just be so confident in saying this and nothing else, you know. But I know how big of a J. Cole fan you are, so I'm not surprised.
I got you. Alright guys, again, you're listening in School Detention. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're going to play some commercials and we'll be right back. Thank you guys. Alrighty guys, welcome back to School Detention. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just now we were discussing the Grammys, who should got awards, Hip Hop Album of the Year, things like that. Now, one thing I want to bring up is Drake made a very, 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 very interesting speech. We talked about this a little bit off air, but in his speech, in a nutshell, he pretty much said that just because you don't get recognized for these awards doesn't mean that you're still not great. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good message to send, and that's true. Yeah, just because you're not winning the awards doesn't mean you're not great. But then at the same time, it's really easy for someone to say that when they have as many awards as Drake. You know, that's like a billionaire, like, money isn't the key to happiness. It's like, well, it's easy to say that when you have that much money. You know? But yeah, no, I definitely agree with what he's saying. You don't need the awards to be recognized, but at the same time, winning awards is nice, you know, and especially I think, and I get what he was saying. He was pretty much trying to say F the Grammys without saying F the at least that's how most people in hip hop feel. Because yeah, I mean, most hip hop artists don't really get recognized in the Grammys, you know, unless you're huge or popular at the time. You know, I would argue that Invasion of Privacy won just because Cardi B is like the hot topic of 2018, you know, so because she clearly should not have won that award, you know what I'm saying? But and then what, Drake won God's Plan, or Drake won Best Rap Song of the Year with God's Plan, and that was going up against King's Dead, Lucky You, Sicko Mode, and Win. You know, I don't know, and I don't think God's Plan should have won at all. You know, so
I'm not surprised it won. I don't think it should have won either, because it's very, like, if you look at from a content standpoint, he's not talking about anything. Like,
it's a generic song. It's a super generic song.
It's super like the typical radio smash that he makes like every year, every 2 years, whatever, and he got recognized for it. And that's why we were talking about before we got on air, the lack of faith in award shows now. You know, I don't even watch award shows like that anymore.
Yeah, I don't, for sure. I mean,
they're always super inaccurate. It's never.
Well, you know, no one's ever gonna be. They're never gonna satisfy everybody unless one project was just that outstanding from the rest that everyone just agrees, like, yes, that is the best, which that never happens. So not everyone's gonna be happy, but at least they can do is actually try to make the right decision. And you know, it would also be nice to kind of see what they look at when they're choosing the winners. You know, are they looking at lyricism and, you know, production and content and storytelling? Are they looking at that, or are they just looking at the numbers? Because if they're just looking at numbers, then it explains why a lot of these people are winning just based off of popularity, you know. But if they claim to go off of, you know, actual, you know, they're actually sitting down listening to it and trying to actually choose the best put together album or best put together song, then I would have a hard time believing that, just because of some of the choices they made over the years. But yeah, I definitely think it's just a popularity contest. I'm pretty sure most people do think that. Just because, I mean, look who's been winning these past couple of years, just for various categories, when there's been obvious winners, you know, that should have won, that kind of get snubbed, you know, so.
Absolutely, and you know, the artists, we can't speak for the artist because we're not the artists. But at the same time, I feel like some artists really don't care. And if I was an artist, I don't know if I care either. But as a fan of the artist, I just want them to get their recognition. I just want my favorite artist to be like, you know what, like, I want everyone else to realize how great he is, and I want him to get that Grammy, you know? And that's my thing, and that's what kind of makes me upset about it. My favorite artist could not even care. But it's just a matter of fact, from a fan standpoint, like, I want you to succeed because I mess with your music so much. And that's the part that really frustrates me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if you're an artist that deserves to get the recognition, you're going to get the recognition. You know, it's not like... I know you're talking about J. Cole. It's not like people don't know who he is and his album art isn't going to go platinum and
I wasn't going to say J. Cole
I know, but everybody knows that's what you're talking about. you know, but if you're good, you're good. You're going to get recognized whether you win the Grammy or not. That's another story, you know. But I don't know, man. These award shows, they've been, especially when it comes to hip hop, it's just, yeah, they're horrible. You know, and then you got BET, which is supposed to be for hip hop artists, which is, you know, also trash. So I mean, I don't know.
BET hasn't represented us in a very, very, very long time in the proper way.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These award shows are kind of, like I said, I didn't even watch it. I heard about it. I knew it was coming on. I just didn't care. You know. And now that I'm looking at the people who, like, the different people who won the various awards, whether it was hip hop or not, I see that I didn't really miss much, you know. So, you know, I honestly think, you know, award shows are kind of on the downfall. They're always gonna be here though. They're always gonna be here because it's tradition and everything. This is the 61st Grammy, so this is pretty old.
Long time.
Not old, but still older than me. That's pretty dope. You know, so I mean, I don't know, but they definitely need to change how they choose the winners, or at least let the people know what they're looking at when they're choosing these winners, so we can at least understand why they chose them. You know, because right now, I mean, I don't know why they chose Cardi B to win that album of the year. You know, I just don't know why. And I'm never gonna get an explanation. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's kind of, it kind of sucks, to be honest.
They, which you made a very good point, that they should let us know their credentials, because at this point they can get back some of their credibility, some of their rapport with us, the people, the consumers, because at the end of the day, we are what drives the business, the consumers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And one thing that I read that did kind of upset me a little bit, that's more very peculiar, is the fact that no one used that platform to say free 21 Savage.
Yeah, I know,
No
right?
one said, yo, free my man 21. 21's in a tough situation. Nobody took the time to say that, do anything like that. And I was I was like, dang, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, they should have said it, but I guess I don't know why they didn't say it. It would have been nice, to get that support. I mean, I'm sure they've shown him support personally, and I know Jay-Z's doing as much as he can to get him out of his situation, which talks to Jay-Z for doing that. That's dope. Because I mean, everyone else is just saying, oh, my thoughts and prayers, and free 21, and he's actually like, okay, I'm gonna put my money towards actually trying to get him out. Not everyone has Jay-Z's money, but so you could at least donate a cool 100,000 to some lawyers or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk trash about him because I haven't given him any money.
Now I did sign a petition.
I signed a petition too.
I think it's up to like 150,000.
I don't know how real those petitions are.
I don't know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let me sign my name, and I feel like I did something, but it could.
Right.
Who's really looking at that?
Exactly.
I don't think anybody's even watching.
Do these signatures actually carry over to something?
Right. And even if they do get like 400,000 signatures, like is somebody be like, oh, now I gotta, do it. Right. Now I gotta look at it,
Right. Like, a bunch of people signed it. I guess I should do it.
Oh, and I guess I gotta let this rapper out of ice now, and like jail. It's just like, come on.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, at least we're doing what we can.
Exactly.
For him, and I hope, I hope me signing that petition did something, that's really all I can do. But yeah, you definitely think that someone would have shouted out 21 Savage at least one time. Yeah, it's surprising.
Definitely. And switching gears to that, if you guys don't know who 21 Savage is, he's a rapper, very popular rapper based out of Atlanta. The situation is currently he was arrested around 2 weeks ago, and actually he was arrested in a sting for another rapper named Young Nudy. 21 happened to be in the car with him. This is bad circumstances, but I was thinking there's a little bit more behind it. But we'll get to that when I get done. So he was arrested with Young Nudy a few weeks ago. Then, when they were arrested, the police turned them over to ICE. From that point, ICE was saying, and it is factual now, we know now that 21 Savage is actually an illegal immigrant who is from the United Kingdom. Guys, if you're hearing a rumbling in the background, please understand that our new location is at a train station, so please do be mindful of us. So I do apologize about that. Back to it. Due to the fact that he's an illegal immigrant, ICE has been holding him for the past few weeks. However, little do they know, in which they were really reluctant to release, that actually 21 applied for a U visa, which is a visa you can apply for when you are a victim of any type of emotional trauma. He was shot 6 times, and his best friend was killed right next to him while sitting in the car.
It was a victim if you're a victim of a crime.
Yes. Oh, that was a victim of a crime. But I think also if you suffer from mental trauma.
Is it? I don't know. I just know it's a victim of a crime. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the same thing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he applied for that in 2017, which is 2 years later. So how are you gonna arrest him for something that he tried to correct? It's 2 years. That's not on him. That's on the government. Yeah,
but I guess I heard there's a lot of people. There's like a limited amount of U visas that are given out, and there's a lot of people that are waiting. So yeah. If that's, I think it was like 2,000 U visas available. There's like 10,000 people on the list.
2,000 U visas out of how many billion people we have?
Yeah, I know, right? It's ridiculous, but you can't give a visa to everybody. So I'm sure there's so much more that goes into that than we know. And just because, and as much as I would love to have him free, just because he is who he is, 21 Savage, and he is famous and he does have a lot of money, does not mean that he should be pushed to the front of the pack.
You're right.
And they get the U visa. But yeah, I mean, he has taken the steps to become a legitimate citizen, So it's not like he's just been hiding out, You know what I'm saying? And just trying to avoid police and everything like that. But I mean, it's just a tough situation. There's a lot of details in it that I don't want to get wrong, so I don't want to just start talking, you know, and I'm giving out false information because when I do read about it, there's just so much you got to take in, and there's just so it's a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's. I do wish the best for him, though. I mean, and if the worst comes to worst and he does get deported, I'm hoping he's. I mean, I'm sure he'll still make music, you know, but I'm hoping he'll eventually be let back in the U.S. at some point in time. You know, I'm sure artists are still going to work with him regardless. You know, they're just going to have to go over there, or you know, just send it through the computer. You know, and then you know, he has a whole UK fan base he can reach out to now, and UK rappers he can collab with. So that I mean, if he really wants to, he can spin this and make it better for him. So I'm just wishing the best for him with no matter how it turns out, good or bad.
Absolutely, you know, you definitely wish the best for him. The issue is though, is that now, you know, I didn't know that there were only a certain amount of U visas available.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, he's being held without real cause. Now they're trying to say he had a gun. I read that earlier this week. Apparently there was a loaded gun in the car as well. But that came out, of course, weeks after he was arrested in the initial report. So now at this point, I don't even know what to believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a loaded gun.
I wouldn't be
car,
surprised either because he is about that life.
Who he, yeah. Are they saying that it was just in the car? It was his that
he said
had?
It was in the car.
Okay.
From what I can remember, I don't want to misquote it. It was in the car.
If it was in the car, okay, then that may just I don't know what.
Right, they make the nudies. You don't know what else is going on. But
I think there was 2 other people in 21 Savage in the car.
Really?
That's what I think. It was Young Nudie, somebody else in 21 Savage.
Oh, this is honestly just a really terrible, unlucky situation.
It's a horrible situation, man. I feel bad for everybody involved.
Man, I'm telling you, because he was born in the UK, and it's not like it's his fault. He was born in the UK, came here in 2005.
Yeah.
Visa expired when it was 2006. He was 13 years old. How are you gonna be 13 and renew a visa?
Yeah, I don't even know if he knew about it. His parents probably didn't say anything.
Probably
you know,
did.
so like,
you know, and living in fear. You know, being friends with people who are immigrants and who are here illegally, they live in fear. You know,
yeah,
you have to,
especially in this day and age. I'm not surprised.
Absolutely, you have to use a different name wherever you go. Sometimes to apply for jobs, you have to use fake names, and a lot of times one thing I notice is that when the family stays together, typically you have an older couple who come over, they'll have a child. Let's say the child is like our age, that child will work and pay the bills and pay majority of the financial workload while everyone stays in the same house, so they can still live here and not get set back.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a friend, her mom hasn't worked a job in a very long time just because it's very hard to get that job, and does the job pay well. You know, it's a tough situation, so it's not really fair to them, but they have to stick through that. So I think as much as an example that, you know, 21 may be here illegally, but he tried to get it fixed, I think this really brings up the light. We have to talk about immigration in general.
Oh yeah,
messed up it is.
Definitely. It just sheds light on how difficult it is to become a citizen, you know, the process it takes, you know, and the different circumstances for different people, why they came here illegally. And I'm sure a majority of illegal immigrants just come here not because they just want to come and ruin the country. It's out of necessity. I'm sure they're in horrible situations back home, and they're just trying to get a better life, you know. And what would you do in their situation? Exactly. If you know, if you were in like a war-torn country or